you don't always win. No, that does not mean that you lose. No, not an excuse. Knowing when to give up is an important realization that you need in order to move forward and improve in life, to be better. I feel like a lot of people blame themselves all the time when they give up on something. It's okay to give up on something. Though I don't mean that in a way that when you fail once that you give up instantly or immediately. No. What I'm saying is knowing when to give up when you don't have the chance of getting it or winning it or acquiring it or achieving it, right? That does not mean that you give up once you fail or when you fail once. No, I'm talking about when to give up when you know that you've done everything that you can, that you've given everything that you can, that you possibly can to gain it, to acquire it, to achieve it, to grab it within your hand, to grasp it, but you still couldn't do it. That's when it's important to give up, to know when to give up. I don't mean giving it up completely, but giving it up at this moment for now and taking a step back in order to see it in a different light, to see it in a different perspective, to see it differently. What do I mean by that? So you approach it now differently. You have to gain this new weapon, this new approach in order to attain it, in order to achieve it, in order to accomplish it. Because the things that you've done in the past did not work out. Of course, you know that it will not work out if you keep doing the same thing. But if you approach it in a different light, if you approach it differently, if you see it in a different perspective, there's a big chance that you will have a different result, right? I mean, don't misunderstand me though. I'm not saying that you give it up completely, that you give it up once that you fail or once you fail the first try. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to give it, just to give it up immediately. No, I'm not saying that. Because I know how hard it is to give up on something, with something that you really want, with something that you want to achieve, with something that you've been wanting for so long, that you've done everything that you can in order to have it, in order to achieve it, but still you're a step behind. You were short-handed or something like that. Knowing when to give up on something is key in becoming a better person because you know your current limit. You know what you're capable of at the moment. You know what you lack of. You know when it's time to call it quits. Knowing when to give up will help you to, reflect on the things that you have right now and the things that you don't have in order to move forward. And once you do realize those kind of things, that's when you'll open your eyes into seeing things differently, seeing the things that you do differently, because just because something didn't work out the first 3 tries doesn't mean that when you try it the 4th time with a different approach that it will not work out, right? We don't know that. That's why we have to try. But when we try something again, we should try it in a different light, in a different approach, because as as Einstein once said, that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? It's basically the whole content of this video is, if you keep doing the same thing and you're expecting a different result, you're insane. There's no logic behind that. There's no acceptable reasoning behind that. And once we accept that, once we accept the fact that we need something new in order to move forward, in order for us to overcome it, in order for us to achieve it, that's when we'll realize the whole potential that we have. This whole different approaches that we can try and solve the problem or achieve something. This new horizon of chances, opportunities that we have And approaching this problem or this dream that we have will open up once we accept that fact. The fact that we need to do something different in order to have a different result. Well, preferably on the positive side, right? On the positive result. Anyway, I guess that's it for me. I just want to get that message across. I just want to get that message out there. And yeah, that's it. Stay awesome.